Did you know that back in the 1980s, PepsiCo had signed this bizarre deal with the Soviet Union to sell its Pepsi soft drink in exchange for their submarines and warships? Yes, you heard that right. In 1972, PepsiCo successfully negotiated a cola monopoly with the USSR, and Pepsi became the very first American consumer product to be produced, marketed, and sold in the Soviet Union. But back in those days, the Soviet currency was worthless internationally and was not even allowed to carry abroad as per the Soviet law. As a result, in exchange for its soft drink, the company received a special alcoholic beverage called Stolichnaya vodka, which became an instant hit in the USA. But in the 1980s, due to political concerns and the American boycott of Soviet products, PepsiCo had to look for something else to exchange. This led to a remarkable deal in 1989 with the Soviet Union, where, in exchange for its fizzy drink, the company received 17 old submarines and 3 Soviet warships, which the company eventually sold for scrap to earn its money. Hello brand lovers, my name is Ketan and welcome to a new video on Brandzpree. PepsiCo Inc. is an American multinational food and beverage company headquartered in New York, USA. This parent brand currently owns over 500 brands, out of which at least 23 brands make over $1 billion in sales annually. In this video, we'll dive deep into the interesting business strategies, the vibrant brand identity designs, and the popular marketing tactics that PepsiCo has managed to implement across all of its subsidiary brands, especially its flagship brand Pepsi, which is the second most valuable soft drink brand across the world and the single biggest rival of Coca-Cola. Let's dive straight away into PepsiCo's branding case study and try to answer the question, how did Pepsi become Coca-Cola's biggest enemy? Let's get a glimpse of the interesting journey through the history of PepsiCo before getting into its branding specifics. In 1893, Caleb Bradham, an American pharmacist, creates a cola-flavored drink in his drugstore and calls it Brad's drink. This humble formula would later evolve into the Pepsi that we know today. In 1898, Brad's drink gets officially renamed Pepsi Cola, and Bradham starts marketing it as a drink that helps in digestion. In 1902, Bradham officially incorporates the Pepsi Cola company, and in the following year, he patents his Pepsi Cola recipe, further solidifying his ownership and vision for the brand. In 1965, the Pepsi Cola company merges with Frito-Lay Inc., a leading snack food company, to form PepsiCo. This marks the company's journey to becoming a leader in both the food and the beverage industry. In 1971, PepsiCo reports its first ever $1 billion in annual revenue. In the 1980s, PepsiCo deepens its influence in the fast food segment by acquiring brands like KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. However, later in 1997, these brands spin off from PepsiCo as the now famous corporate group called Yum Brands. Over the next years, PepsiCo made a lot of successful acquisitions and introduced a variety of new product lineups and brands to offer more options for each and every customer, taste, lifestyle, and occasion. When we look into the business strategies that make PepsiCo what it is today, there are 3 particular ones that stand out to me. Number 1. Product diversification. PepsiCo strategically launches new products and acquires new brands to consistently appeal to a very wide range of target customers and maintain its market leadership position. Number 2. Localized globalization. PepsiCo looks for expansions into international markets, especially into emerging economies with great potential. The company successfully does this while also tailoring its products to local tastes and preferences. Number 3. Research and innovation. PepsiCo invests heavily in the research and development of new products and innovative sustainability initiatives to ensure that it stays competitive while also meeting the ever-growing consumer expectations. PepsiCo's revenue model is primarily dependent on the retail sales of its diverse portfolio of food products and drinks. The company also supplies its products to food service establishments such as restaurants, hotels, and catering businesses, which also contributes to the overall revenue. Additionally, PepsiCo engages in brand partnerships where it receives licensing and royalty income from the use of its trademarks and intellectual property. Let's get into PepsiCo's brand strategy and try to get an essence of how strong its foundation is. PepsiCo's vision is to be the global leader in convenient foods and beverages. In addition to this long-term vision, the company ensures its employees are regularly motivated through its mission, which is to create more smiles with every sip and every bite. As a way of ensuring a consistent culture throughout the company, PepsiCo ensures that everybody involved with the company abides by its brand values, which are diversity, integrity, courage, sustainability, responsibility, and trust. Owning over 500 brands across the different sectors of the food and beverage industry, PepsiCo adopts a hybrid brand architecture to provide a robust structure to its widespread portfolio. Let's have a closer look at some of its popular product brands. Number 1. The core brand. Pepsi is the world-famous carbonated soft drink that is considered to be PepsiCo's flagship product. Within the Pepsi brand, there are sub-brands like Diet Pepsi, Nitro Pepsi, and Pepsi Zero Sugar. All of these product brands have multiple flavor variants as well, like Pepsi Mango, Diet Pepsi Caffeine Free, Nitro Pepsi Vanilla, and Pepsi Zero Sugar Wild Cherry. Number 2. Carbonated beverage brands. Apart from Pepsi, the company owns a sparkling water brand called Bubbly Sparkling Water and other soft drinks like Mountain Dew, Mirinda, Starry, and 7up. It's also important to mention that although 7up is internationally distributed by PepsiCo, the brand and formula are currently owned by Keurig Dr. Pepper. Number 3. Other beverage brands. PepsiCo owns many other beverages like a sports drink brand called Gatorade, a fruit juice brand called Tropicana, and a bottled water brand called Aquafina. Number 4. Snacks. PepsiCo's wholly owned subsidiary brand Frito-Lay produces the majority of its popular snack brands like the Fritos Corn Chips, Lay's Potato Chips, Cheetos Corn Puffs, and Doritos and Tostitos brands of tortilla chips. Number 5. Cereals and healthy snacks. PepsiCo's subsidiary brand Quaker Oats Company produces its breakfast cereal brands like Quaker Oats and Captain Crunch. Number 6. Partnership brands. PepsiCo also owns a number of product brands through collaborations with other famous companies. For example, Lipton's ready-to-drink tea beverages are sold by Pepsi Lipton International, which is a company jointly owned by Unilever and PepsiCo. Similarly, Starbucks partners with PepsiCo to distribute Starbucks ready-to-drink coffee beverages around the world. Number 7. Local brands. PepsiCo also owns a few product brands, especially snack brands that are only restricted to specific countries. Examples of such are India's Kurkure, South Africa's Simba, and Egypt's Chipsy. When it comes to competition, the majority of it comes from the beverage brands owned by the Coca-Cola company. Another significant beverage rival of PepsiCo is Keurig Dr. Pepper. Nestle is also a major competitor, especially in the area of bottled water and snacks. In addition to this, Mondelez International also competes in the snacks market through its Oreo and Cadbury brands. Did you know that back in the 90s, PepsiCo launched a completely clear cola soft drink called Crystal Pepsi, which tasted exactly like the traditional Pepsi drink? During the 1980s and 1990s, there was this popular marketing fad called the clear craze, where companies believed that the consumers equated clarity and transparency with the feelings of purity. This was the time when brands started launching clear gels and electronics with transparent or translucent outer casings. As part of the trend, Pepsi launched its own clear product called Crystal Pepsi in 1992, which was essentially a caffeine-free version of Pepsi without its caramel color. Unfortunately, as with any fad, there was a surprisingly high initial interest among consumers, followed by a steady decline in sales in the years that followed. Though discontinued currently, this nostalgic product offering has gained a lot of cult following among soda lovers. As a means of banking on this love, PepsiCo occasionally releases limited editions of Crystal Pepsi, ultimately turning its failed product into a sought-after collector's item among soda enthusiasts. On a side note, if you're finding this video interesting and insightful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share this video with your friends. It would really help me out. Since PepsiCo is a corporate brand, it doesn't really communicate with the end consumers directly. As we already know, brand identity is truly powerful, particularly in the case of brands interacting directly with the consumers. Therefore, instead of PepsiCo's identity, let's observe and analyze the brand identity of a few of its famous consumer product brands. By the way, did you know that Pepsi was named after a digestive enzyme? Pepsi's and PepsiCo's name originates back to the late 1890s. Back when the cola-flavored drink was invented, it was named Brandzpree after the founder himself. In 1898, the drink was renamed to Pepsi Cola, believing it had a better ring to it. The latter part of the name was because of cola nuts, which were the then source of caffeine for the drink. But the Pepsi part was inspired by pepsin, a digestive enzyme. Even though pepsin was not an official ingredient of the drink, the name resonated well with the drink because it was being marketed as a drink that helps in relieving indigestion. This name eventually led to the naming of the Pepsi drink and the PepsiCo company. Over the years, the Pepsi logo has undergone several redesigns and updates. However, the core elements have remained the same throughout the logo evolution. The iconic Pepsi globe is a circular shape that represents unity and global reach. In addition, the wavy white line adds a sense of energy and symbolizes the excitement associated with carbonated beverages. The use of red, white, and blue colors as its brand colors not only represents American patriotism, but also signifies vibrancy, purity, and trust, respectively. Keeping the core elements of the logo intact, in early 2023, Pepsi redesigned its logo and developed a cool, vibrant, and dynamic identity from it. The new classy identity introduced electric blue and black color palettes using interesting styles of vibrant 2D patterns along with the Pepsi Pulse motion design. Another PepsiCo brand, 7up, also underwent a recent rebrand which included a friendly and modern logo along with a dynamic and refreshing identity system consisting of iconic citrus green colors and subtle geometric illustrations. Similarly, Mirinda, also redesigned its logo and identity design in an attempt to appeal to the Gen Z audience. This latest identity features bold and minimal packaging designs along with funky, flavor-relevant illustrations combined with abstract globe shapes. Coming to the packaging design of Pepsi branded products, the cans usually feature a minimalistic design on a premium reflective surface to ensure high visibility on the retail shelf, sometimes also in combination with illustrations relevant to the drink's flavor profile. Even though the brands owned by PepsiCo have their own independent identity designs and target customers, the core foundation of the corporate parent brand is what makes each of these brands a success in their own market segments. PepsiCo's true marketing genius lies in the way it creatively positions its Pepsi brand. The company's flagship product, Pepsi, has been engaged in a rivalry for generations with Coca-Cola. This rivalry through ad campaigns and TV commercials is like the Marvel vs. DC rivalry of the beverage world, and this is popularly known as the Cola Wars. Of the many examples of the brand wars between Pepsi and Coke, here are two particular ones that we could look into. Number 1. The blind taste challenge ads. As previously mentioned in Coca-Cola's branding case study, there were blind taste tests conducted between Coke and Pepsi where it was proved that people actually preferred Pepsi since it tastes better. Pepsi took advantage of these test results and also the new Coke debacle in 1985 with ad headlines like "Coke is history, Pepsi is the future," and "If you want the real thing, ask for Pepsi." Number 2. Interactive ad campaigns by Pepsi and Coke. Pepsi's Refresh Project campaign funded community projects voted on by the public, proving to be a great example of cause branding. While Coke's Happiness Machine dispensed random acts of kindness and provided some happy and memorable moments to the consumer. Apart from the Cola Wars, Pepsi has always been keen on partnering with celebrities and pop culture stars to have a strong brand positioning, especially among the youth. Over the multiple decades, Pepsi has partnered with popular celebrities like Michael Jackson and Beyoncé back in the days, to Kendall Jenner and Lionel Messi in the recent past. PepsiCo ensured strong brand loyalty through its marketing campaigns like the Pepsi Points program and the Pepsi Stuff catalog. These annual campaigns that were launched and relaunched in the years 96, 2008 and 2018 featured a merch catalog called Pepsi Stuff, consisting of t-shirts, hats, denim jackets and bags that could be purchased with Pepsi points acquired from specially marked Pepsi packages and bottles. This program was a huge success and helped in boosting Pepsi sales significantly. Did you know that in partnership with NASA, Pepsi took the Cola Wars even beyond the planet Earth? In 1984, researchers for Coca-Cola had an idea about dispensing carbonated beverages in space to give astronauts more choices to drink and also to create a stellar advertising opportunity. NASA agreed to let the astronauts try the Coke drink on a shuttle flight. As soon as Pepsi got to know about this project, it obviously wanted to participate in it. In 1985, PepsiCo made history by developing a unique dispensing system in the form of a handy can-like packaging. In the same year, NASA flew both Coke and Pepsi products on the STS-51F mission so that the crew members could evaluate the dispensers and do a taste test. Though the results of the taste test were not released to the public, Pepsi's decision to participate in this venture made history by taking the Cola Wars to space. The combination of strong brand strategy, refreshing design decisions, and innovative marketing ventures have resulted in not just Pepsi becoming one of the largest soft drink brands, but also PepsiCo becoming one of the largest food and beverage companies in the world. Throughout the many decades of its existence, PepsiCo has maintained a philanthropic program since 1962 called the PepsiCo Foundation. This venture ensures the creation of sustainable and innovative solutions to tackle socio-economic issues like nutritious food, safe water, and economic opportunity. Recently, the company also introduced its Pep Plus program, short for PepsiCo Positive, which is essentially a set of sustainable goals aimed at driving a positive impact on both the people and the planet, along with elaborate strategic steps to help guide the company, its employees, and its partners in this journey. This program has been running quite successfully since its inception in 2021. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to Brandzpree for more insightful videos on branding and related topics.